My sugar baby friends told me to download Seeking Arrangements. I feel like because of how I look with tattoos, I was trying to find like more of a punk or like alt like sugar daddy, because most of them were into like just skinny bimbos. And I'm just like, oh shit. He was very incel basement dwelling guy, which also sucks because he's like rich. And it's like he could like do something about his appearance. Just buy some nicer clothes, get some like good hygiene going. Receding hairline, ponytail, thin rectangular glasses, neck beard, raggedy shirt, ill-fitting jeans that hung very low, and then like Birkenstocks or like sandals. He told me that his parents passed away and he was an only child, so he inherited all of their money, and he just said that he was sitting on like a mini fortune. I expected to go like somewhere nice because he was wealthy. He told me to meet him at an Einstein's Bagels for lunch. He got like a full like lox with capers, like the whole like raw onion, and it like was in his beard, like the cream cheese. It was so awkward because it was just like reminds me of a boyfriend with like low self-esteem. I had to keep being like, oh no, like I'm having a great time. He was like, oh, you probably don't find me attractive, and I mean, look at you. And I'm like, no, don't say that. This guy was just smelling of like smoked salmon and cream cheese, being like, you must not have anything to do with me. And I'm like, no. Like, you don't know what to say to that. And I'm trying to like secure this like sugar daddy. We started just walking around. That's when I brought up, oh, like, would you want to set up a potential arrangement? And he's like, oh, I can see doing that. How's $1,000 a month sound? And I'm like, great. The first date, he made dinner for me at his place. I remember showing up. There was like a glass panel to the side of his door, and when I showed up, he was just standing there, like I could just see his silhouette, like he was just waiting at the door for me. It was terrifying. And then when I like rang the doorbell, he waited a second before he like not knowing, I could just see him standing there. I was vegetarian at the time, so he just boiled artichokes for me. We were just like sucking on those little leaf parts together. I don't remember what we talked about. It was just silence and chewing noises. Once we were done, he was like, would you like to join me in the bedroom? I'm like, after you. I think we were making out, and then it was just awkward pawing. I think I just undressed because I'm like, this is easier. This is why I'm here. And then there were like attempts at having sex. Yeah, with a condom, but then just the image of like a flaccid penis trying to get into a condom popped up in my head. And I'm just at the whole time trying to be encouraging. And like, oh no, it's fine. And he's like, oh, okay, let's just make out. And I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Couldn't get it up.
No.
Did you try to suck it a little bit?
Yeah, I did. It was just nothing. I think he was, just super nervous. Yeah. So yeah, we're just laying in bed after just making out and failed sexual attempt. He just is asking me about like what I'm studying in school, which is political science with a focus on social justice. He's like, social justice? And I'm like, yeah, queer and racial justice. He just goes quiet. It ended pretty abruptly. He was already awkward, but he just didn't want to talk at all after that. And then I texted him a week after, being like, oh, let's set up our next dinner. He told me that he didn't want to continue the arrangement because he's too much of a fascist for me, and that he's a Nazi. I'm a fascist Nazi was his words. I was like, oh, word. He had just sent me second allowance money, so I was like, oh, did you want that back? And he was like, no, you can keep it. And like, that was nice for a Nazi to just give me like, I didn't have to go on a second date with him, and he gave me another $1,000, so that was nice.